Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast. If you're over there on YouTube, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, Facebook, follow the page, share the video, like it. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feeling and stuff today. Today I'm starting to scream. Decided to go live because I was feeling a little emotional today. I know men like to say they don't get emotional, but I think men get emotional just as much as women. The thing is the consequences of being emotional as a man and having to learn how to deal with your emotions and the repercussions of if you were to act out of emotion as a man. Um, that's why you have people like, school shooters and stuff like that, because a lot of those guys are acting out of emotion. They didn't grow up like in a house of love, or they were the rejects of the community or the school, or they never got any play with the women out there. But today, I kind of got emotional just, thinking back over like my dating history and, my interaction with women and getting older and doing the podcast and speaking to different people about their upbringing and certain lifestyles and why people act the way they do and stuff like that. And it was always baffling to me how certain people act while they were, in a relationship with me, or why they, viewed me a certain type of way, why they thought like I had women in my past tell me they thought I was all that because I didn't accept a lot of their bullshit they was giving me, or I was always a person that was quick to leave. And then having conversations with these women would think that it was all right to behave in the manner that they behaved in. And me growing up in a two-parent household, my mother and father being together. I'm 34, probably like 40 something years. So I seen two people come together and have conflict resolution. I never seen these people fight, argue in front of me. I never seen my dad put his hands on my mother ever. I never seen my mama cuss my dad out. I've heard stories of, parents going through divorce and the mother kicking the father down the steps, or, keeping the children away from the father, or the father bad mouthing the mother, calling her all type of, B's and H's and stuff like that. So like I said, just a reflection on like my dating history, the things that I, went through, trying to understand people lifestyle, their influences, understanding just reflection on my childhood. And even going back to my childhood, understanding why I had so many friends at my house. Because, growing up with me, my house was the house. And if you know what I mean by that, it's the house that has everything everybody spends the night out of. It was the meetup spot before you go and ride your bikes, and our goat carts, and the meetup spot before we got to play basketball. It was my house was the spot. But I never understood how my house became the spot, because never once as a kid did I ever question why my friends never invited me to their house. I never questioned it. And people always used to ask me why I never wanted to come spend the night over their house, or why I never wanted to leave my house, because growing up, my parents provided me and my brother with everything. We were the only kids in our neighborhood that had our own go-kart. Growing up, people usually, if they got a go-kart, they had the big go-kart with two seats and they had to take turns driving. But my father always believed as men, we always needed to have our own. So when he bought go-karts, he bought me and my brother a go-kart. And we would always take turns with the kids in the neighborhood. We had, every video game ever released. We had jungle gyms in the backyard. We had basketball goals, ping pong tables. I always took trips, invited our friends on trips and stuff like that. And like I said, growing up and talking to people and actually hearing about their upbringing, how, I could, everybody, all of my friends except for one grew up with a single mother led household. All of my friends, I can name them by name, but we friends on Facebook and I'm going live. So I don't want to just, put them out there. But I can remember one of my friends, we was real close, real close. Like that was my dog. And he had a younger mother. She was fine, y'all. His mama was so fine back in the day. She was fine as hell. And the only time we did go over his house was really just to look at his mama, right? But growing up, I used to always ask him where his daddy was at, and he for the longest he never really told us where his dad was at. And then like one day we're just having a serious talk. We was probably around the seventh, eighth grade, and he was telling me that his dad was in prison. And I got on Facebook, I think it was last year, and I seen his dad had just got out of prison. Now, that was seventh, eighth grade, and I'm 34 now. So that should let you know how long this guy that I grew up without a father. He had a younger brother. I don't think they had the same father, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, he had a younger mother. She would leave him at home by himself while she would go to the club and party. I had another friend, same scenario. It was three of them. Their mama was overbearing, trying to compensate for the father not being there. And he would come and play, and he would be the butt of our jokes growing up. And thinking about it, he never had any new shoes. He always had a bad odor, like he didn't take baths, or maybe their water was turned off. His hair was never combed. But as kids, we always played, even though he got cracked on and picked on and stuff like that. He was just the butt of our jokes, and we never understood why he didn't have new shoes. And his brothers and sisters wasn't never the well put together, or neat, or anything like that. I had another friend. Um, he went to prison, and doing dumb stuff. And growing up, he was never like that type of kid that you would think, would just get into the streets as heavy as he did. But same thing, same scenario. His mother, single mother, trying to do the best she could. And growing up and hearing people talk about how they was brought up, and hearing, and the reason this is coming up because we had a podcast last night, and it was about the mothers exposing how it was the sons exposing their mothers on how they treated them and abused them. And now we getting more and more exposure into the life of growing up with a single mother, and how they treat their sons, and how they're this is one thing I see with sons. They try to make their sons their son husbands, and with their daughters, it's always a lot more pressure if they have a daughter, or they're hating on their daughter, or they're trying to guide the daughter in the same path as them, because they don't want their daughter to exceed more than them. I see that a lot. I see a lot of jealousy when it comes to that mother-daughter relationship, which is sad. I've had situations where I'll be talking to a young lady, and her mother would take slick shots at me in the manner of saying sexual innuendos when she's not looking, or do things to me to try to get me to have sex with her. I'm like, this is your daughter. I'm dating your daughter, and you feel like it's comfortable. You're that comfortable throwing some cootie pop at me. And if I was a weaker man, I probably would have went there. But it baffled me to the point where I would feel like my parents would never do anything like that to me. But I'm growing up hearing my cousins have conversations with me about how their mother used to do low down dirty stuff in the family, where um they feel like it got to the point where they felt like it was okay to lie, because the mother would be lying to the father about her whereabouts, what she would be doing. And if they decided to tell the father the truth on what the mother was doing, and the whereabouts, where she was going, who she was hanging out with, how long she was on the phone, the conversation they overheard, she would punish them. That's how sad this would be. She would literally punish her children if they did not lie for her, so she could sneak around on the daddy, cheat on the daddy, be out all times of night because he worked overnight. And she would punish them. And the one who would go along with the bullshit the most was the daughter. And he used to always ask me, he's like, y'all never noticed how my sister used to have birthday parties, but I never had a birthday party? He said, you never once asked yourself, my sister always had birthday parties, but when it came time for me to have a birthday party, I never had one. And I said, damn. And this is last year we having this conversation. 33 years old. I'm like, I never for once thought about you having a birthday party. As a kid, you don't think about a lot of things like that, because you live in, your life. I'm carefree, and I wonder why so many other people aren't carefree. Even with my kids today, people will say, your kids are so happy, they so jolly, they silly, they play, and I'm confused as to why y'all saying this about a child. Then I started to realize as I look at the parents that come to the daycare to pick up their children or the faces of their children, these kids aren't happy. These kids aren't in an environment where they can be happy. They can't be playful. They got to worry about, food on the table. They got to worry about if the lights are going to be on. This is a scary thing to think of, that we have so many kids raised like this. So many people are just having sex and producing like this. If y'all remember, COVID hit, and when COVID hit, Birmingham had to still prepare lunches because we found out that majority of the kids in Birmingham city schools were only going to school just to get lunch. That is sad. We had so many kids going to school just to get lunch. And it shows you where our priority is, and people really don't care about kids. And the more and more we grow up, and the more and more we see, and the more and more we talk about this, we start to understand that people are producing and putting these damaged people back out here in society. And part of the manosphere red pill space, they're telling men, they're telling men that they need to have sex with 35 plus women before they consider marriage. They're telling men out there that they need to have sex with 35 plus women, 35 plus women before they even think about getting married. Do you know why that's stupid? Do you know why that's dumb? Do you understand the trauma that you're going to run into dealing with these women? Do you not see what happens to a Bill Cosby? I'm not saying he did it or didn't, but even those interactions with the women could potentially lead you to having your name smeared. As a man, your name is all you got. And once those allegations get on you, you can't get them off, even if it's proven to be false. Because some people are going to hear that, but they might not hear the court case that you go through and get exonerated or found not guilty. Understand, in court, you're not found innocent, you're found not guilty. I'm gonna say it again. When you go to court, you're not found innocent, you're found not guilty. So that mean the circumstantial evidence might have, swayed in your favor. They can't say you didn't do it, but they just didn't have enough to convict you. So when people have that type of understanding, you don't want your name smeared like that. So why would you, as a person, as a man, think it's wise advice to tell men to sleep around with these women and you know that they're damaged? I say this all the time. Dave Chappelle said in his stand-up, though, I think it's called the Sticks and Stones one. He said, "Don't act like half the people in this room haven't been sexually assaulted." Most people just thought he was just saying something as a joke. No, that's truth. And people laugh because sometimes we have to laugh because the pain hurts so bad. We have to laugh through the pain. I had made a statement on my one of my podcasts, and I asked, I said, have y'all ever had a sexual encounter with a woman? And during that sexual encounter with that woman, have you ever felt like she wasn't there? Like her soul was gone, like she was hurt as a child, like she was just doing something spiritually was just off with this woman while you were doing said sexual act? How can people, like I said, in the manosphere red pill space, tell men that they need to have sex with that many people? Do you know how many hurt people you're gonna come across? If it's 35 people, you got to have sex with plus let's half that, 17 of them women are gonna be touched, fondled, molested, raped, some type of sexual assault, some type of bad experience sexually, and you want to put your penis in a woman like that? You want to take on all of them spirits, all of that hurt, all of that anger, all of that vitriol. Some of those women are just doing it because they feel like this is what men like, because that's what they grow up to thinking. This is what you're supposed to do for a man. Why do you think when we listen to rap music, why do you think when we listen to rap music, all the women, all they have to offer is their vagina? All the rap music we listen to, all the women have to offer is their vagina because most women grow up thinking that's all they have to give to men. You know, the most hurtful thing a woman will ever experience in her life is rejection. Is rejection. Just think about fat shaming. We can't fat shame women anymore because rejection is the most hurtful thing for a woman because women when they're born with everything that they have, which is a vagina. So when you have women and you telling them that they have to compete in a competitive market, but they don't want to. When you have women just because they're big and put on Sports Illustrated, we have women like Lizzo out there, and she says she's confident and loves her body and X, Y, and Z. And then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, she gets on live crying about how the internet and the world is such a horrible place. Let's take away from the looks. Why, as black people, we're supporting being big, and we know with our community, most of our deaths is related to being overweight, heart related deaths caused by weight in our community. Why is this not talked about enough? No, being big and a woman said this. I seen this video that woman said that she said men are the consumers, and the consumers keep telling women your physique is a big thing. Your physique is a big thing, but women keep trying to sell men their careers. Men are the consumers, and the thing that women are selling is their degrees, how smart they is, they can cook and they clean. But the consumer keeps telling women your physique is a big thing. Causation and correlation might not be a thing here, but when you understand when it comes to black women, 1 in 4 will be married. And you look at how most of black women are obese, just think about that. I was having an argument about the size of women nowadays. When you think about how men looked at women for 400 years in the slave field being 110 pounds in the hot sun working and slaving, and then now you get to the 1900s and the 2000s and women are 30 to 40, 50 pounds heavier than what men are normally seeing. That's going to fuck up a lot of things. We really are a sick people. Just us. I don't know what goes in the other communities. I'm not part of those communities. I interact with nothing but black people. I don't have any white friends that I can really say, oh, this is my friend. We hang out, we do X, Y, and Z, we party, we club. I don't really have white friends like that. I hang out with nothing but black people. And it's not bad to say because I think people typically want to stick around people that look like them, people they feel like they can relate to. That's not bad. I'm cool with white folks. I'm just saying, like, I don't have one I could just call the name. Oh yeah, this is my white homeboy. This is, I don't have that. And the reason that I'm saying that is because I want people to know my interactions is with people that look like me in my day-to-day basis. Even when I go to work, most of the guys I work with are black. This is why this is sad, and I get emotional because just thinking about the state that we're in as a people, a race of people, and we're always the people crying about how we built this, how we built America, how we did this. We come from kings in Egypt and stuff like that, and then we look at how people are acting and moving, and then people love to say this: we as a people build something, but then get mad at the American government for putting crack in the hood, guns in the hood, liquor stores on every corner. But that doesn't mean you have to partake into it. One of the things your parents used to ask you, if your all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too? They used to ask you if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too? So that means just because you see Billy over there drinking and getting drunk, or Sarah over there smoking cocaine and crack or whatever, or or Johnny over there shooting up the neighborhood. That don't mean you have to do it. Y'all love to say, as black people, we love to say it take a village to raise a child until the village has something to say about your child. And now it's an issue. You love to say it takes a village to raise a child until the village says something about your child. Now you got an issue with the village. Y'all don't know if y'all fucking coming or going at times. And it's a sad thing because, especially when it comes to race, y'all pick and choose on the racist things y'all decide to keep. Y'all pick and choose on the racist things y'all decide to keep. I tell y'all abortion was made by a white lady because she said black people are like weeds and need to be exterminated. And then y'all go and parrot the shit y'all hear white people say. But then when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, that lady got on that podium, the white lady got on that podium and told Donald Trump, thank you for saving white lives. And that wasn't eye-opening enough for us. That shit wasn't eye-opening enough for us. How can genocide, how can you say we're not gonna do X, Y, Z, but the one of the biggest issues of something genocidal? Have you noticed that our numbers haven't went up? Have you noticed our population has not went up? That's how sad this shit is. Nobody want to talk about none of this. Nobody wants to talk about this. How kids simply go to school. Go to school just to get something to eat. How we have videos of teachers and students getting to fighting. The sad part about it is they need to have it if the student is the aggressor. They need to have it where the teacher can beat the brakes off that student and prove to the other students, you fuck with me, I'm gonna beat your ass and still keep my job. But now we have it if the teacher can't control her classroom, she's fired because they'll say she doesn't have great classroom management, not understanding that she has 30 people in a class at one time. I know someone that says they have 35 students in one class. How can you teach 35 people? How can you give 35 backgrounds, 35 single parent house, 35 father-led parent house, 35, multi-family homes, 35 I've been molested, 35 I ain't ate today, 35 I can't bathe today, I'm musty, 35 I ain't got the newest shoes on, 35 I don't have the latest cell phone, 35 my clothes got holes in it, 35 I ain't got no tampons. Teacher, can you give me some tampons? How can you manage 35 people doing that, has all that going on in a classroom with these young kids? Hormones raging, boys in competition with each other to get some cootie pop, girls don't just not getting sexual attention and they growing into their body and they feeling weird because now breasts are forming and the hips getting wider and their butt getting bigger and they wonder why they getting looks from everybody, not just guys in their classroom. From when they go to Walmart and they see this old man looking at her, trying to holler at her, telling her he could change her life, and now she in a bad predicament where she might have to let this old nigga smash on her because her lights off. These are things that's going on, and we have people are using school as daycares now. Not actual daycares. People are using high school, middle school, elementary school as daycares. When kids come home, their parents aren't sitting at the table with them, going over their homework, trying to make sure they're doing their homework and making sure it's complete. People ain't reading to their children at nighttime when they laying in the bed and understand they can, understand context clues or point out letters and be able to count to 20. We at a sad state of affairs right now. Nobody's talking about this. And the things that we're talking about now is more about, when it comes to the podcast space, is really a lot of relationship stuff, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's about talking to these children because it's easy to raise strong men and fix broken men. They always ask this question, and it comes up every other week on my timeline. Should a person raised on love date someone who was raised off survival? They always asking that question. Should a person who's raised on love should date someone raised off survival? Honestly, I don't know. Because I would tell you a person that's raised off love should date someone raised off love. But at the same time, how can we heal people and love people and show people things if they don't experience love from someone that understands love? So all the broken people need to love the broken people. They're just gonna be more chaos. Look at a Blueface and a Christian Rock now having a child, and this woman is hitting him with with bottles over his head and trying to vacuum out glass out of his head. If this was the other way around and Blueface was beating the dog shit out of Krishan, they would have canceled that show a long time ago. But since it's a woman showing that she's the aggressor and doing stuff like this, they keeping it on. How are we not signing petitions to cancel something like this? It sickens me. It sickens me. Like when I watched the Tyree Nichols thing, these are black men beating another black man. And I know we're gonna have the people, the resistant arrest people, the running. Oh, he shouldn't have ran. All of this, he should have listened. But if you watch that video, I have never in my life been pulled over like that. I have never been pulled over where soon as the police, excuse me, soon as the police get out of the car, they're aggressive. Get the fuck out the car. You know, I'll blow your shit back. I'll break your fucking arm. Who gets out the car? Is hey sir, do you why didn't it say, hey sir, do you know why we stopped you? Do you know why we pulled you over right now? Well, we pulled you over because you broke this law. It was never that. It was get the fuck out the car. That is scary when you have these many people pulling up on you and you don't know what's going on, and they are already aggressive with guns drawn and trying to put you on the ground, putting your hands behind your back. Okay, he ran. Let's say he ran. But if you watch that video, this man was handcuffed to the ground, getting kicked in the face, punched in the face, hit by a nightstick. It was so brutal. Cops picked him up. He could not even hold himself up on his own reconnaissance, and they were still punching him. He could not hold himself up on his own, and they were still punching him. This is a sad state of affairs that we are in as black men, as black people. Very sad. Very, very, very fucking sad. And we have to do better. We have to do better. It's just that time now where our community as black people, it's time for a pruning, a purging. It really is. Because there's a lot of people that is not worth saving and cannot be saved. If y'all don't know who FBG Duck is, go look up his mother. This is a woman who has 10 kids and 5 of her kids died. This is a woman who has 10 kids and 5 of her kids have died. Why is she allowed to even keep kids? If you watch videos and hear how she talks around her grandchildren, that is sad. Do y'all know that this woman, FBG Duck mother, started a OnlyFans recently? This is a 50-some-year-old lady starting a OnlyFans. Did y'all know that FBG Duck mother made a sex tape with one of her son's enemies? Did y'all know that? This woman made a sex tape with one of her son's enemies. That shit is sad. He recorded this woman while her and her son beefing, knowing that this man is beefing with her son, but she put herself before that, and she's recorded on phone call talking nasty to him, telling her how wet her vagina is and what she gonna do with to him and how she want to suck his Peter whack and all this. Like, bro, this is the people, and all of this stuff baffles me because I can't think of parents acting like this. I didn't grow up seeing parents act like this. And what people say, I grew up in a pretty sheltered lifestyle. I didn't grow up in the hood or nothing like that. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. I didn't grow up in the hood though. I had both my parents there, me and my brother. And every day I'm thankful because I encounter people that tell me I wouldn't understand certain things. They tell me, Cedric, you wouldn't understand the how I grew up because you had a good life. You wouldn't understand that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to understand because what you're rationalizing right now is trauma. What you're telling me I don't understand, and the reason that I can't understand it is because it is trauma that you're talking about. A lot of people are trying to rationalize hurt and trauma, and they don't even know it. That's why therapy is so big. But the thing with therapy now, a lot of the therapists are hurt. Ashanti said, something I'm glad, some things I'm glad to not understand through experience. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Because a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. I don't want to go through the shit y'all go through. I don't care how y'all glamorize it and put it in a box and put a bow on it and try to make it look good because a lot of y'all lifestyles does not look appealing to me. It does not, it's not where I'm trying to go. It's not the trajectory of my life. It's nothing about the stuff that y'all try to normalize in everyday dating with y'all kids, with y'all family, with y'all parents, with how y'all act at work, how y'all deal with authority. None of that is what I want in my life or my life or for my kids' life. That's why I don't let my kids go spending out over people's house. People say I'm always acting funny with my children. Yeah, yeah, I'm acting funny with my children. These are my children. If they at your house, I can't watch them like I need to. It might change a little bit when they get older, and I know for certain that I raised an adult that I could put back in society that understands that, hey, this is not supposed to happen. This is wrong here. I need to do better here. Hey, what y'all got going in your house ain't right. I can't come back over here. These are the things that we don't talk about in our community, and it's getting sadder and sadder and sadder. And I think, to be honest, our community is so far gone. I don't think there can be any retribution. I don't think it could be any saving. I don't think it's enough. I'm sorry, because at this point, it ain't a white thing. It ain't a government thing. It ain't a race thing. It's a us thing. We have a us problem right now. We have a serious us problem right now. Tyree Nichols' situation is indicative of the black community. Tyree Nichols' situation is what the black community looks like. I listened to Charleston White, and he said he go to outreach programs and try to save kids and stuff like that. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't think you should be trying to save anybody kids. I think the more these kids go out here that want to be in these streets and take themselves out, the more the merrier. Because we can't have a lot of resources going to stupid shit at this point in time. We can't be spending money on going back to the hood and trying to save people who don't want to save their kids. If you stay in the hood, you just need to let hood shit be hood shit. Carolyn said, "Why did the cops do that to him?" It was brutal. It was very brutal, and honestly, I don't know why they did that to him. I don't know because a rumor said that he was sleeping with one of the officers' baby mama at FedEx. But then I seen something today that said the father said that wasn't true. The father said that wasn't true. And it's getting to the point with us, man. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, it's disheartening. It sometimes, as and I understand why so many black people are starting to have, a vitriol towards other black people, with the black community, in the ways that we do stuff, in the stuff that we say is cool. Yeah, I agree, Carolyn. There is no excuse, period, for that. There is no excuse for killing anyone. There's no excuse for any of this. And it's getting sad, man. And you ask yourself, when is it going to stop? And people are upset now because we have a lot of tribalism going on. We have a lot of tribalism going on, and people are upset about what's going on when it comes to tribalism. But I think it's perfect time to find your tribe. Find like-minded people that you can vibe with, you can congregate with, you can, spend time with, you could cry with, you can have joyous times with. You're going through hard times, you can confide in them. They understand where you're coming from, they understand your upbringing, because now is the time more than ever for us to find people that are trying to go in the same area, place, trajectory that we're trying to go. People don't understand this. When people say, "Oh, you acting funny, you don't want to hang out with me," you might have to accept it. Yeah, I might be acting funny because what you're doing in life is not what I'm trying to do in life. Where when you're being stagnant in life, I'm not being stagnant. I can't be stagnant. I'm trying to move and build some stuff. I'm trying to make some stuff, and you got to understand, being in the same spot in life may be cool for you. You should find other people that are okay with being in the same spot, doing the same things. Because I know people from high school. Like I said, I'm 34 years old. I know people from high school still doing the same thing, trying to live off the same high school clout. Like, my nigga, we old now. We supposed to be living for our kids and trying to show them a better way, but we still have people from high school trying to still live off high school clout. You still got niggas still going, thought they was gonna make it to the NBA, still trying to hoop tan ligaments and can't go to work and stuff like that because they out here still trying to hoop and live hoop dreams and stuff. You still got women out here thinking they still the baddest women because in high school they had all the niggas, but now they got, 3 kids and 5 baby daddies and still acting as and still have their ass on their shoulders, acting like they can't do no wrong. Sad state of affairs right now. Sad state of affairs right now. We have to do better as people, as a race of people. Like I said, it ain't about no race. It ain't about just because people put something in front of you that does not mean you have to do it. Like I said earlier, your parents used to always say, if your friends jumped off the bridge, would you jump off a bridge behind them? Is we a monkey see, monkey do type of people? Are we? We live in a society now where we can do anything. We have so many black billionaires now. So many. So it can't be on the strength of, it's racism. We had a black president. We had a black president in America. No matter how you feel about it, just the symbolism should have been, if I have a black president, we can do anything as a black man. I've had so many conversations with other black people who say they're getting tired of black people using the victim card. I had so many conversations now with other black men saying they're tired of black people using the victim card. I'm from the South, Birmingham, Alabama, and I have this conversation a lot. I don't think, not knowingly, have ever experienced racism. I tell people that, oh, you're from Alabama, you from the South, but a lot of people don't understand. If you go back and look at notes from like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they say When they go up north, they experience more racism than they did down south. Do you know why that is? Because the white people down here are more used to black people because we slavery. They fed us, they clothed us. So a lot more white people are okay with black people in the south than any other place because they're used to seeing us down here interacting with us other than other places. So when I say that, it ain't about race, and I say this also. Every time I've had a bad experience with police, it's typically been a black police. I've It's never been a time that I have got a warning from a black policeman. Not one time. Every black policeman have that has pulled me over has given me a ticket or has done something like I had a Crown Vic with really dark tinted windows, and the police, instead of asking me to roll down my window, he was tapping on my window really hard with his flashlight, acting like he couldn't see. And I said, "Hey man, why you just didn't ask me to roll down my window? Shut the fuck up before I break your window." What? I'm like, this is the life that we live. And I know we have a lot of self-hate in our community, and that does stem a lot from racism, but that doesn't mean we have to stay there. That's why therapy is important. Therapy is important. I see that people are mad at Charlemagne because Charlemagne said he didn't want a Carolyn said, I don't like cops that much. I'm gonna say this, Carolyn, and this my I don't want to sound like crazy because I'm not trying to defend policemen or anything like that. But I'm from Birmingham, and our police force is like 78% black. Our population is like 70%, 77% black. The student body is like 90% black. I think like 7 out of 9 city councilmen is black. The mayor black. So like I live in what they would call a black mecca. I'm not really worried about police like that down here. I don't really get pulled over a lot either because I do think there's a thing called drawing attention to yourself as well. And like I said, I drive a Camry and I drive a Tahoe. Like there's nothing, I don't have the rims on or nothing like that. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I do think we draw attention to ourselves. Same as if, excuse me, I seen a young lady the other day, right? She posted a picture on Facebook on her stories with her vagina and her breast. It didn't even, it was her head was not in the camera at all. It was her vagina and it was her breast in the camera. A dude inboxed her and said something about her vagina and the way that it looked. It wasn't like it was through some pants. And I'm like, if you posted a picture of you reading a book, I bet he wouldn't have jumped in your inbox. So we invite attention and then claim we don't want that attention. You want to put the rims on your car because you want people to look at your car and be like, this is a nice car. Oh, I like those rims, or paint it. Oh, you're painting your car a certain color or have a certain look because you want people to say stuff about you or say stuff about it because you want to feel good. You want that validation. There is a such thing as drawing negative attention to oneself. Yes, but when we have conversations about that, people act like, "Oh, you shouldn't judge me. You know, you don't judge a book by its cover." And I'm like, "We do judge. That's how we stay alive. That's a natural human instinct. Judging people off how they look. That's just something natural. That's a defense mechanism a lot of times, especially if, let's say, I'm a white person, never been around a black person, but I get all of my information from media on from TV about black people. If I'm getting a stereotype from the media about black people, gangsters, this, or like the news, they showing a black person's face who just got the shoe and stuff like that. If I'm always seeing this and they programming me to be a certain type of way, I'm gonna protect myself because if that's my only interaction is television, social media, and news outlets, I'm definitely gonna protect myself when I see a black person coming my way. I use my instincts. I would think part of your instincts would be, judging the book off the cover as well. it definitely has to be that way. That's natural. Women don't go get BBLs. I'm gonna say this: women don't go get BBLs because they don't want attention. I know a lot of women say, "I did it for myself, and I wanted to look a certain type." Let's be serious. Let's be real. You don't go and get your ass that big and unproportionate to your thighs and look like a Bug's Life or one of them Ant Man or Men in Black with a stupid big behind. Come on now. Self preservation is the number one human instinct. Correct. Correct. Kiera Kiera said, "Yeah, they get BBLs for attention." What up, cuz? Bro, this the first time you been on here. I don't even know you my real friend no more. But yeah, like I said, today it's raining outside. I felt like Lamar and BML said, "You can't stop the rain." That's what he said, right? That's how I felt today. I woke up, I went to the gym, I worked out, and then it was rainy, it was gloomy, and then I just had like a self reflection on like my life, my kids, uh other people lives, doing the podcast, how just simply talking to people, it weighs down on you. You take on a lot of people emotions sometimes. You take on a lot of people's feelings, and you know and like I say, it's unfair to men to say that we don't get emotional, because we damn sure get emotional. We get emotional a lot. We just always are taught that fuck your emotions as a man. You got to shit and get it. The world don't give a fuck about a man and his emotions. That's why you think men men commit suicide at the rate that they do. Carolyn Brazilian butt lift, is when they go and do their body a certain type of way to get the ass or the breast implants and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, it's sad that men, we're taught that we can't show emotion. And to a certain extent, you can't. You have to learn how to maneuver. And that's part of having a father in your life. And a lot of these guys, men and women, actually need to understand that men are supposed to be stoic. You have to understand how to move with your emotions. You can't move off motion alone. You have to have some logic behind you, how you're feeling. You have to learn how to rationalize your emotions, because we definitely get emotional. But we understand that our repercussions, because you could look this up. Does women commit the same crimes as men but get less time? Women commit the same crimes as men and get less time. So as a man, you have to understand you can't go out here and just move off of emotion. Sad reality. I just want to tell the men that I understand. I want to tell women that, hey, we have feelings too. I know a lot of women aren't empathetic to the struggle of men, and sometimes I can understand why you wouldn't have empathy to the struggle of men, because a lot of women feel like they have their own struggles. A lot of people feel like they have their own struggles. So I don't have time to really be empathetic to what you're going through. A lot of time we get desensitized to a lot of things that's going on in life, to where somebody could literally get killed right beside you, and you could just go on with the hustle and bustle of your day-to-day life, and just overlook what's going on with men or people in general. What you saying, Carolyn? Who told you that? I'm not sure. I guess it's I'm not sure. Sure. Told me what? But yeah, it's like I said, it's a sad reality. Um, but I just want guys to know that I love y'all. I don't really, show like emotion like that. Everybody know me as funny or they call me the asshole, but typically I'm not like that. Okay, well, show me, send me a link, and what I do, I'll see your link. You a link of they say women get 30% less time than men do for the same crime. Yeah, I'm just saying if it ain't true, you send me a link where I can look it up, and I'm gonna send you a link that I just read about how women get 30% less time off committing the same crime that men do. Shut up, nigga. But yeah, like I said, just that's self-reflection, thinking about my childhood friends, stuff they went through, thinking about other kids, thinking about how COVID affected so many kids. They said during COVID time, they seen a rise in kids' weights at a crazy rate. Kids are bigger than they ever have been before because all they was doing is sitting home and eating. Now just think about that. You got kids going back to school and they fat as hell now. And bullying is a thing. You fat as hell now as a kid, you finna get bullied. You mean to tell me you was out of school 2 years and you come back and you 40 pounds bigger than you was as a child, and you think we ain't finna crack on you? Man, you out your mind. And I'm gonna say this: bullying is needed because life ain't easy. Life is beating you down. Life is the bully, not the person. A lot of times, the bully that we encounter as kids and as adults is life. We overcome that bully. Sometimes we overcome life because we figure out how to move and maneuver certain type of ways because life ain't easy at times. And they always say, this is a thing that they always been saying too lately. Marriage is hard. Marriage is work. And I always tell people, man, I'm married and that shit easy as fuck because I do the same thing every day. Every day. Like it ain't nothing more to just coming home, going to work, dealing with my wife, having sex, playing with my kids, day-to-day tasks. It might be like I gotta repair something here or there, fix car or something, or it's simple, it's repetitive. Might get boring at times, but far as it being hard and being work, if you just do what you supposed to do, y'all lay good ground rules and y'all live by them, have conversations when you something that is a ground rule but may not be conducive to what you're trying to do in life, and you might need to have a conversation so that person doesn't feel like, hey, you're going against what we said to do. And it pretty much is a piece of cake. It ain't that difficult. um I know a lot of people are looking for this grandiose thing when it comes to love, or they're looking for, the one that just hits that spot of the love of the life or whatever. Most of that stuff that people are looking for or think they're going to get is bullshit. Your love, the love, the that fairy tale romance is some high school sweetheart shit. You my first, and we ended up getting married and having kids. It's like a lot of us have been through so much. A lot of men have been through so much. People have been through so much that it's just hard for us to let down our guard to the point where we can have those fuzzy feeling about somebody as if they're not going to hurt us. What Carolyn said, I didn't even see this message. No, I'm not saying it's not true. I just haven't heard that before at all. Well, look it up. Just think about the court systems, Carolyn, when it comes to like child support or custody battles. Typically women are awarded kids more than men are. And they like to say that men don't fight for their kids. They like to say men don't want the kids, but in honesty, all honesty, the courts just give the kids to the men. I mean the women. Like they use breastfeeding. Like if the child young enough, a woman can use breastfeeding as an excuse for the child not to come with the father. But and we know they got formula. So if the father is a better choice and he's okay with feeding the baby formula, why can't the father just use formula? Like these are things that they are doing to people and dismantling the homes, because fathers who raise children on by themselves produce the same product as two parent households. Like I say, guys, it's just been an emotional day, sad day. I want y'all to know I love y'all. If you need, the new normal is supposed to be a place of refuge. It's supposed to be a safe space. It's supposed to be loving, caring. It's supposed to be where we could talk about pretty much anything, things I've never even thought about. Because, like I said, doing the podcast, I have conversations with people, and I'm like, I never even thought about that. I never know that even went on in people's lives. I didn't know on a day to day basis that's how women, seen it, thought about this situation and stuff like that. Women use breastfeeding as an excuse. There's formula and a mom can always pump. It's no difference for the baby. Mine tried using this excuse and she still had to give me the kids. Oh no, Sid, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But I'm saying those excuses are typically going to win in court. That's why I tell men, if you have a child, especially a newborn, you need to go to doctor's visits, dentist visits. You need to know the doctor's names and take get excuses of when you bring the children there. Like all of these need to show if you have a situation when you go into court fighting for custody that you're just as involved as this woman, because let's be real, a lot of women don't even care enough about their kids to want them to have the best situation. So that's why they keep the kids from the father. Like nobody talks about a lot of this stuff, and it's coming more to light when you got the manosphere and the red pill space. But like I tell people, a lot of the information they're giving out in that space, that sleeping with 35 plus women before you think about marriage, that's dumb. When you understand how many people are emotionally unstable, mentally unstable, physically unstable, and you mean you're going to subject yourself to that many people having your body, your time, your energy, your effort, you're going to come out a damaged person. You're going to come out a damaged person. And the flip side of that 35 to 35 plus women, you might understand. Get and I think part of it is saying, hey, you having this much interaction with a woman would give you an understanding of women to where you may not want to get married, to where you understand women enough to know, hey, a lot of these women ain't shit, right? But at the same time, going through that, are you really realizing they ain't shit? Or will it come down to you ain't shit? You got to ask yourself that. If I'm sleeping with this many women and I'm realizing these women ain't nothing, what does that make me? What is my judge of character? And how should I view myself if I can muster up enough, you know, sexual fortitude to sleep with this many women and I deem them as being nothing? You mean to tell me you're a man out here just sticking your Peter Walker in nothing? Remember, it's always going to be quality over quantity. Quality women. And let's talk about having your way. If you're a man and you want to have your way, you got to get some bread, dog. Like, just be real. You got to have some money. You got to build something. You got to show and prove, because how are you going to get those quality women that you truly really want? Looks, cultured, family. Like, you can't get to where you're trying to go dealing with that many women. My granddad used to always say, you lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. That's an old saying, but it's a true saying. Ashanti say, and be emotionally intelligent. It's scary out here. It's scary. I just listened to the CDC put a report out how black fathers are the most involved fathers there are. And I'm still, to the life of me, can't understand how so many women deal with the Pookies and the Ray Rays, how so many women got deadbeat baby daddy stories, how so many women are sleeping with men that know they have 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, they know they ain't taking care of. How, as a woman, just think about Tennessee. Tennessee, there are 3 men in Tennessee, three who have 89 children with 46 different women. I'm thinking these niggas are some rich niggas and they just signing up to be like on some Nick Cannon stuff where, oh yeah, I could be his 11 baby mama. I know he gonna take care of me. He got the bread. No, these are men that are in and out of jail. Man, they said some men are paying like $1 and something in child support because they in and out of prison. Because if you know how child support works, it goes on your income. If I've been in prison 2 years and you got a baby and I'm going to court for you, how can I get anything out of you? Because they think they're the exception. They think they are different. I agree. Sometimes thinking you're different really means you're the fool. Because, and I'm gonna blame church for this. So this is my rant on church. This whole forgiveness, wash my sins white as snow, repentance. I could do what I want. The Lord just gonna forgive me later on down the line. All I gotta do is ask for God forgiveness. Has fucked our community up, and that's why when we talk about shame, the first place that was giving out shame that doesn't do it anymore is church. Church tell you now, come as you are. Church says, come as you are now. Church, it's to the point now when I used to attend church, women would sit on the front row, the shortest skirts possible, and they would have the deaconesses walking around with blankets over their arm, telling the women to put this over your lap because I don't want you to tilt my pastor. I'm telling y'all, I'm blaming church for a lot of the stuff that we're doing now because now we don't want to shame people. Now we could be washed white as snow. Now we can repent. Now we could be forgiven. Some things you should not be forgiven for. Don't forget in the Bible, God, Sodom and Gomorrah, how God wiped Sodom and Gomorrah out. Some things you would not be forgiven for. They don't talk. I don't know why that's not taught anymore. That come as you are shit that they do in church has fucked us up because now when we talk about past, when we talk about people past, when we talk about people body count, when we talk about what people been in their life, the stuff they do, well, they didn't do it to me. That's your answer. Well, they didn't do it to me. What dumb logic to live by? You mean the patterns that this person has been showing the last 20 years, and you said you're going to get involved with this person because they didn't do it to you? Ask yourself about that. Are they fucked up or are you fucked up? I blame church for that because some things you cannot be forgiven for. Some actions will not be forgiven for. Some actions you cannot be repent for. And I know with the Sodom and Gomorrah thing, it was asked, "Hey, can you find me any just person in this place?" Before it was wiped out, and nobody was just. Ask yourself, ask yourself, why God just didn't start over? God, we ready. We ready. Go on, take us out. Come on back. We ready. It ain't getting no better down here. It's only getting worse. They telling us kids can to terminate sex now. Go on, bring us, go on, bring it. Send the asteroid, send the flood, send the fire. If you need to thump the earth over 2 inches to freeze this bitch out, I don't know. I don't give a damn at this point. If you got to, guys, thump the earth over 2 inches so we can go on freeze and we can start it back and you could just slide it back when you're ready to rebuild. Or you need to send a new batch of humans on New Year next year. Send us a new batch of humans. Doing the same behavior for 20 years with no type of professional correction and a time period afterwards shows the newfound skill set. They think because he changed 2 days ago, he good as new. Oh, you know what? That's something me and my wife had to talk about because somebody, not to get too personal, but somebody in her family that she was trying to, rebuild a relationship with, they repented to them and they told them they were sorry. And I had to tell her, I said, hey, look, the path that y'all are on is new. This person has said they're sorry and they're trying their best. Do not hold it against them if you see signs of them resorting back to their old ways, because it's not an overnight thing. They're still going to fuck up and they're still going to slip, long as they're trying. Because sometimes we're set in our ways. I agree. I think your recent past history will show, will show your future. I agree. That's why when people become rich and famous, a lot of times they've been grinding 10 years. You just ain't know about it. People be like, "Oh, this is an overnight celebrity." No, you didn't see the sleepless nights. You didn't see how long I was doing this and EQing this and fixing this and reading this and learning this and class this and spending here and investing my hard-earned time, energy, money, blood, sweat, and tears, because you have to put in that time and it takes time. You don't perfect the craft overnight. We live in a microwave society. We want it now. We live in a microwave society and we want it now. We want the blessings to fall from heaven and our cup runneth over. Just say a prayer and boom, there it is. I'm gonna say something. Church, the new church that we got now has done more harm to us as black people than the old school way of church. It's no way when I was growing up that you would be able to come into church with your girlfriend and boyfriend holding hands. That's that come as you are type mentality. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't care about a person's sexual preference, but we also know a lot of those people have been touched as children, fondled, have mental illnesses. People are telling you could, if you're a man, you could be a woman. If you're a woman, you could be a man. And they're allowing this in church. Church was the place where, as black people, we corrected a lot of the stuff that was going on in society. Church is where we got our news from. Church was where we got business tips and stuff like that. Now, churches, we just gonna have a good praise and worship team. We're gonna dance, we're gonna make everybody feel emotional, and the pastor gonna get up for 30 minutes and say something. Y'all can come back Wednesday, we're gonna do the same thing over. Is no resources in church anymore. Everybody trying to have mega churches and multiple buildings to line their pockets up. Now, every other year, Creflo Dollar in some drama talking about a plane one year. Now he talking about how tithing is. Like I said, it's becoming a shit show. It's becoming a circus. Why would anybody want to go sit up under there? And women are complaining men have left church. You see why? Because logically, why would I go sit up under somebody when they ain't even speaking, preaching, or living biblically to the word? But women don't mind sitting up under that. The only time, and I'm gonna say something. If you see a man in church, because when I was in church single, I was in there fucking hoes. When I was in church single, going to church, all I was doing was slanging Peter whack around that hoe. The main ones, holier than thou, looking for a church man, is Saturday night sucking me off, Sunday morning waking me up, busting it open, go take a shower. Oh, let's go to church. Sound crazy? No, it don't sound crazy. It sound like real people living in real life, and they're going and finna go to a building and fake like we just didn't get done having sex. That's really what we about to do. We about to go in here and fake and act like we ain't in here just doing the nasty. You really finna go in here and, and kiss Sister Esther on the cheek, and you just got done sucking me off. That's really what you about to do. You about to go kiss Sister Esther on the cheek, and you just got done sucking me off before church. Like I say, this is some wild shit. I'm not nasty. I didn't say because you go to church you're free of sin. I don't like when you go to church and you act like you're free of sin. I don't like the when you go to church and you think you holier than now. I That's one of the reasons why I said I started this podcast. I mean, this stream today, because we all need to see vulnerable people, real people. I'm not trying to be a person that act like I got all this shit put together. Yeah, I'm not a person that's trying to act like I got this shit put together. They ain't hold. Yeah, they holy in the moment when they bouncing on that Peter Walker. Yeah, they holy. All right, I'm feeling all them hoes. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Praise them. But like I said, men, talk to somebody. If you have to get in a men's group, and don't talk to your lady. I know if I say this, women are going to take that what I just said and their emotionalism and feel like, well, as we're in a relationship, you should be able to talk to me about anything. Trust me, she does not have any empathy to your struggle. I had a podcast the other day about a man being happy and downsizing, and women were like, well, I don't know about downsizing my life. Look, it's about you. It's about you. I don't care. Sometimes, and I don't believe in divorce, but even if you're married and you doing stuff for your happiness and a woman does not agree with what you're doing for your happiness, and it might be having you have suicidal thoughts or something like that, you need to leave and find happiness quick, ASAP. Don't let that woman drive you to an early grave. Why do you think in marriages women live longer than the man? Why do you think in marriages women live longer than the men? Because typically being a married man is a lot of strain on you. A lot of men are trying to make women happy. No, make yourself happy first. Because if you the head got to be happy. Understand that it ain't no happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse, happy house. Make yourself happy. You be happy. I know, I know we rationalize, and with us, we think of when we say I do, I'm gonna rock with you till the wheels fall off. Most men think that. That's why we know who filed for divorce most of the time. It doesn't have to be stated. Love yourself. Because your kids gonna need you to be there. The kids will understand, hey, being married to your mama, I was thinking about offering myself every day. I was at a job that I hated, but she wanted me to stay there because I was making money. Your kids gonna understand that because they have to go through life too. They'll come back and say, "Oh, Dad, I understand what you meant now. I see what you meant now." Because life is a struggle. And sometimes if you have to do something for your happiness, that's when you should look to the person that you're with to help you with that happiness, to help you carry that load. That's why a lot of people be broke down in relationships because some people are carrying all the load in that relationship. Some people are carrying the whole relationship by themselves. The emotional aspect, the monetary aspect, the making it happen aspect, the love aspect. A lot of people don't like to admit this. A lot of people aren't lovable. A lot of people can't be loved. A lot of people don't know how to accept love. A lot of people don't know how to give love. Love is the most powerful thing. It's crazy because love and hate can make you do the same crime. Love and hate can make you do the same crime. And I'm getting hungry. I'm getting real hungry. What y'all ate today? I'm trying to find something good to eat. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I just seen a girl with one of the most ugliest tattoos I think I've ever seen in recent history. But I'm gonna say this again before I get out of here. Fellas, I love y'all. Ladies, I love y'all. You know, whatever trajectory you're on, don't let nobody railroad you or derail you. Don't let nobody push you into situations that you don't want to go into. Have hard boundaries, have hard lines, have good stopping points. Be vocal about when somebody's disrespecting you, excuse me, or making you feel uncomfortable. Be very vocal. Be stern in how you address these things too. No smiling. If someone is disrespecting you, if someone is pushing the line or keep crossing the line, you have to have a stern look, no smiling. Because we do that, we smile sometimes when we're addressing hard situations with other people, so it doesn't cause a conflict. But sometimes you have to be man or woman enough to step up to the plate and cause that conflict to let them know, hey, I'm serious. I seen a lot of people do. They'll have a smile on their face. Hey, I really don't like that, and that person continue to do it because of the way you address that situation, the way you move with that situation. Like I said, I love y'all. I enjoyed y'all. This is a place of refuge. If you ever need a place, you want to talk about something, it's the New Normal Podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Um, on YouTube, make sure y'all follow the page, share it, like the video, leave ideas and things y'all want to talk about, things I've never even thought about talking about, or you think someone needs to talk about. Y'all let me know. We go.